Welcome to the Mental Transit channel. If you are a Scorpio, you are likely exhausted by how your sign is constantly reduced to cheap drama, jealousy, vengefulness, and fatal obsessions. Let us bypass that esoteric fluff and childhood fairytale tropes from superficial horoscopes. You are tired of hearing yourself referred to as the phoenix constantly rising from the ashes, a master of endless transformations. Over and over, always the same routine. You might even have begun to internalize that this is your only destiny, and that nothing can be changed. Yes, Scorpio is indeed the sovereign of regeneration. You will survive and prevail in any given circumstance. Yet your underlying quiet yearning remains. Is it possible to simply live for 6 months without another fundamental crash test and a complete overhaul of my reality? Scorpio is not about theatrical drama. It is about structural resilience under extreme pressure. You are the individual to whom life regularly assigns complex, high-stakes tasks that would cause anyone else's processor to melt down entirely. You do not invent problems or construct imaginary anxieties. You encounter hard, unexpected, uncompromising realities in business, finance, systems, and relationships, and you simply begin dissecting them. Without panic, like a seasoned engineer tasked with repairing a failing core reactor. Yet here is the crucial question that few care to answer. Why do these systemic disruptions occur in your life with such relentless regularity? And how do you cease living as someone permanently employed in disaster management? When do you get to simply live? Or is that an unattainable luxury for a Scorpio? The truth is, you are allowed. You can live differently, enjoy life, and stop perpetually bracing for the next catastrophe. If you are visiting this channel for the first time, we do not read child-level horoscopes or repeat cliches here. We analyze the neuro-architecture of zodiac signs and learn to master our reality. Subscribe now so you do not lose this tool. However, if you genuinely enjoy playing the eternal phoenix, rescuing yourself and everyone around you from the depths of crisis, do not watch any further. Because today, firstly, we will break down 2 life scenarios for Scorpio, the familiar one you are used to, which yields no real fulfillment, and an entirely new one. Secondly, we will dissolve the limiting neurophysiological pattern holding you back. And thirdly, we will recalibrate your internal baseline to the optimal scenario, which is entirely valid and accessible for you as a Scorpio. So, for those who remained, let us begin with the core question. Why does life continuously push you into these relentless transformations? Why is this happening specifically to you? In astrostructure, Scorpio is governed by Pluto. Translated into the language of personal neuro-architecture, your psyche possesses an immense threshold for sensory capacity and an exceptional bandwidth. How does the average mind operate? At the slightest onset of crisis or departure from the comfort zone, the typical psyche experiences stress, freezes, or retreats. How is the Scorpio system built? First, you possess an integrated, absolute scanner of inefficiency. At a subconscious level, you instantly sense when a structure in your life, be it a business model, a relationship, or a routine, has become obsolete and turned into dead weight. Second, you carry an internal safety mechanism, an automatic forced reset. If you remain within a system that has exhausted its purpose, your neural network accumulates immense internal tension. If you do not initiate change voluntarily, your own energy triggers an external explosion, simply to prevent an internal collapse that could compromise your well-being. It creates the illusion that the world is testing your fortitude. In reality, it is your own operating system tearing down outdated scaffolding, simply because you have not granted yourself permission to ascend to the next level through any other means. The truth is, a Scorpio always has 2 distinct scenarios available when transitioning to a higher level of life. The first is the baseline, familiar scenario of burned earth. To enter a new phase, you often unconsciously escalate the situation into an absolute catastrophe, burn your bridges, and level everything that came before. Then, fueled by pure adrenaline, you rise from the ashes and rebuild your life upon the ruins. You prevail, yet the cost of this victory is profound burnout and total exhaustion. The second scenario is constructive. We shall call it the path of the architect. This occurs when you direct your psychological bandwidth not toward demolishing scaffolding, but toward the smooth, intentional construction of a new foundation before the old one becomes too confined, obsolete, or collapses entirely. Without drama, without emergency overhauls, and without the need to prove your survival capacity through suffering. Where lies the precise neural mechanism of this energy drain in your life? Astrologers often claim that Scorpios are simply bored without problems. That is a superficial myth. It is not about boredom. It is about your heightened sensitivity to falsehood and the unallocated capacity of your neural network. The Scorpio psyche is engineered to direct complex operations, deep transformations, and high-responsibility endeavors. Yet if you do not provide your mind with a clear, constructive objective, such as building a scalable venture, expanding your wealth, establishing a new tier of personal comfort, or refining every area of your existence, a basic law of physics takes over. The unallocated bandwidth of your neural network begins to dismantle the very environment you occupy. Unconsciously, you begin putting undue pressure on people, redesigning systems that were functioning soundly, or searching for flaws until a minor glitch escalates into a full-scale crisis. You become trapped in the closed loop of the burned earth scenario. Instead of devoting 100% of your capacity to cultivating deep, prosperous, and stable structures, you spend 80% of your life endlessly rebuilding from scratch what you recently leveled yourself. How do you break this cycle and transition from burned earth to the architect scenario? You must redirect the application of your fundamental nature. Your true power is not in endlessly pulling yourself out of the rubble to demonstrate the unbreakable endurance of the mythical phoenix. Your true strength lies in directing that formidable capacity toward shaping a new reality beforehand, rather than managing the fallout afterward. Recall the ultimate superpower of a Scorpio. You possess extraordinary neural capacity, the ability to sustain high-complexity processes, and the mastery to reorganize chaos into perfect order. You are natural crisis managers and structural architects. When you direct this power not toward salvaging a sinking vessel, but toward engineering an advanced, resilient ship, your life transforms fundamentally. You do not need to build global empires or chase extreme scale if you do not desire to. Your objective is to cease juggling emergencies and begin applying your Plutonian bandwidth toward proactively creating quality of life, prosperity, and stability. Shifting your focus from a struggle for survival to building a system where you are simply fulfilled, serene, and prosperous. It is easy to articulate, but how do you transition into a new operational mode when your instincts are conditioned to perpetual turbulence? That is precisely what we are addressing now. Step 1. Starting today, monitor yourself and ask, am I currently constructing my own system, or am I battling someone else's? This applies whether your objectives involve high ambition and scale, or simply peace, a comfortable home and family. You do not have to fight. Your task is not to conquer obstacles or defeat external circumstances, but to build a structure where difficulties simply have no place to exist. And yes, you are capable of this, and you are fully permitted to live this way. Step 2. If what we are discussing resonates with you, and you are truly ready to leave the scenario of perpetual struggle behind once and for all, solidify your intent. Write the following statement in the comments right now. I am the architect of my destiny. Anchor this decision on a logical level, and subscribe to the channel so you do not lose this video. Step 3. We now transition to a specialized meditation practice. This is a structured technique operating on the principle of neuroplasticity. It assists in swiftly releasing the ambient expectation of impending chaos, unloading accumulated tension from the nervous system, and shifting your Plutonian focus from subconscious destruction to creation and sustainable resourcefulness. An essential note: if you are currently driving, walking, or unable to engage in this practice in complete silence with your eyes closed, do not pause or turn off the video. Listen to it in the background right now. Your subconscious will still process the necessary neural cues, and the recalibration process will begin. Afterward, to consolidate this shift, save this video and repeat the practice several times in a tranquil setting, as neural pathways do not rewire instantaneously. For your convenience, the precise timestamp for the start of the practice is provided in the description below. Additionally, remember that a foundational video breaking down key astrological transits and the practice for the current month is already available on the channel. Be sure to utilize it to clarify your strategy and navigate any cosmic shifts smoothly. Are you ready? We begin now. Take a deep, slow breath in, and a gentle, smooth breath out. Close your eyes if it is appropriate to do so. If not, keep them open. Allow your physical body for a few minutes to completely release the weight of needing to control and sustain everything upon your shoulders. Feel your shoulders relax and lower by a couple of centimeters. Take another deep breath in, and a smooth breath out. Visualize your familiar pattern before you: the relentless stream of tasks, disruptions, and reactive tension. Observe this energy from a neutral stance. Acknowledge how much immense energy you have expended simply maintaining this structure and managing its strain. Now state silently or aloud, I honor this experience for the strength it gave me. Yet this scenario is now complete. I no longer need to prove my endurance through adversity. Take a deep breath in. Imagine all that colossal energy that was previously consumed by defense and crisis management returning directly to you. It condenses in the center of your chest into a warm, concentrated point. This is your pure, unaligned power. Now, smoothly and decisively, direct this potent stream from the center of your chest outward in all directions. Not toward struggle, but toward your expansion, your higher aspirations, and your grounded, self-directed life. Visualize the version of yourself you choose to embody. Say to yourself, I am the architect of my life. My energy is vast and I direct it toward creation and expansion. I am capable of all things. My life is rich and fulfilled, and I govern it from this moment forward. Exhale fully. Feel the firm foundation beneath you. You are no longer a crisis manager. You are the architect. Take one more deep breath in, and as you exhale, gently open your eyes. Return to this practice whenever you feel yourself being drawn back into survival mode, or the habit of rebuilding life from ruins. If you integrate this exercise into your daily morning or evening routine, the recalibration of your life scenario will proceed significantly faster. Remember, structural change does not happen overnight, but you have taken the first vital steps. Now, proceed to the current monthly forecast to align your internal recalibration with ongoing transits, and claim the dedicated monthly meditation practice there. All links and timestamps are located in the description below this video. Subscribe to the channel and build your life precisely as you choose. We are not here to battle reality, but to elegantly integrate it into our remarkable journey. Until next time.